speaker mentioned, these legislations, what are they? These laws that prevent detrimental aspects of scientific research, they are in effect limitations, ladies and gentlemen, which is what we want today. This legislation is passed by the governments, and these limitations are passed by the governments. As a result, the government does have a role and should have a role in limiting the areas of scientific research, particularly where it is detrimental to society and to international peace, which is why we as the opposition believe that this motion must fall. Thank you.
Now to close the case for the proposition, I call upon Sahi In.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, we'd like to state firstly that we are outraged with the stance of the opposition, which attempted to hijack the case of the proposition by stating that UNESCO should place limits on the areas of scientific research and the government should be the ones implementing them. What the opposition was arguing today was that the government should implement the limits on the areas of scientific research, which didn't really fit the resolution to start off in the first place. Given that, ladies and gentlemen, there have been three major issues outstanding at the conclusion of today's debate. Firstly, this controversial model concerning the UNESCO and the governments. Secondly, this issue of harmful research and harmful application. And thirdly and finally, the issue of whether the government has the capability and right to make the judgments and restrict the right of the people to pursue academic freedom. So firstly, onto this controversial model of UNESCO and the governments. Now, the opposition was quite blinded by the fact that by this idea that the UNESCO is perfect, that the UNESCO can apply its standards to every single country, and UNESCO is somehow a powerful body that has the mandate to tell countries like Iran what to do. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, fails to engage itself in reality, because the fact of the matter is UNESCO can't decide. We pounded upon this again and again, and they never came back with this. We stated that UNESCO is consisted of 192 different countries with 192 different values, and thus they can't find a universal standard on what is right and what is wrong to start off in the first place. And we also stated how the UNESCO does not have the mandate to enact this, and the governments maybe not agree to the UNESCO in many cases. And we heard during my speech that one of the opposition side speakers stated that the governments won't be placing limits, I quote and quote. They themselves were quite inconsistent during the case about their whole counter model concerning UNESCO and government. So we say that this model concerning UNESCO is not practical in any way whatsoever and is not sufficient to carry out such a huge policy. But moving on to the second issue concerning harmful research and harmful research and harmful application. Now, the opposition had many quirks concerning scientific progress, and we stated specifically that all the examples that they brought up in their first speech was to do with application. The fact of the matter is they tried to misrepresent us, saying that the population doesn't want research too. The fact is we stated that we want research because we want to know what's out there in order to regulate it in application. If you don't even know what it is that we're trying to gain, what is the justification for regulating it? We say, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to research and know what we're talking about. Then, during the application process, we can do this. Because the opposition has been so outrageously misrepresenting us, I'd like to state clearly, as an example, that we brought up numerous times concerning nuclear fissions and nuclear energy. What we're saying is that we want nuclear fission to be researched. And later on in the application process, we can have such as the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which exists in the status quo, ladies and gentlemen. They misrepresent us hugely in this case, and this does not stand in any way whatsoever. The third and final issue about whether the government has the right and capability to enact and cut off the people's rights to the pursuit of academic freedom. Now, this slide kind of dilly dallied a lot on this issue because, ladies and gentlemen, they firstly stated that governments do not really know. They don't have the capability to judge. We gave you a bombardment of examples of how seemingly right, responsible governments made the wrong decision because of different ethical values. We gave you the example of vaccine. We gave you the example of autopsies. And we never really heard anything back from the opposition side, except an idealistic view that because we're living in the 21st century, governments never abuse these people. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the fact that the opposition failed to have a consistent case, the fact that they failed to address the real issue on the floor, which was concerning research, and for the sake of common sense, ladies and gentlemen, we beg to pose this motion.